Like I said, I hope this works. I see live. Waiting for our pretty faces to come up here. My phone is telling me that we're live, so I guess that's official. Hey, there we go. Alrighty. Hello, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Sean.
And this is OnlyFrets. Let's see if this works.
2, 1.
All right.
Did it go?
It's going right now. Yeah, it's a little bit of the delay, but it looks like our intro is official. So yeah,
50% official.
Half official. Sean cannot
We're halfway
get it too.
there. I couldn't get the intro on my end this week, but we will have it rolling for next week.
Yeah. So if you're watching on Sean's channel, it's a beautiful piece of art, I promise. But you might have saw it in the little corner up there on my side. I don't know how it works with that, but either way.
Yeah. Week number 4, bro.
I know it's been fun so far. Maybe we'll get good at this one day. What are you playing there? It looks like Offset Wednesday for us today.
Yes, Offset Wednesday. I've got my little DIY kit, Harley Benton kit.
Beautiful.
And apparently I have delay on, which I did not mean to hit, but sounded pretty cool. So
yeah, delay's always nice. Can't play with a dry sound. That's just yuck. Hey, one like so.
Yeah, what do you got? You're hot dogging today.
I'm hot dogging. So this is the very elusive. I seem to say that a lot. Kramer Hot Dogger. This is an 84. This was a Sweetwater exclusive. Only 75 of these bad boys made. Not to brag. Funny story about this. I actually found this per chance. It was a demo at Sweetwater, and it was like a crazy deal. And I was like, I'm having that. And that balance is still on my Sweetwater card to this day. And I'm slowly paying it off. But it's worth every penny.
Still paying that baby off.
But it is worth every penny. Yeah, it's cool, though. Some 80s type. I don't know. It's got Floyd on it and stuff. But anyway. Have a video on that if you want to check that on my channel, yeah.
Yes, you should check out that video. I love that guitar. It was funny. I just watched a thing on that, actually. They released it as like an April Fool's. So it's probably like your 1-year anniversary or something, right? With that guitar.
I guess maybe since it was released. You know what? That's actually funny that you say that with this being April 2nd. I honestly didn't even think about that, but you're right. I think it was like an April Fool's kind of like, oh, here's a joke. And then everybody...
it did so well. They did another limited run of a little bit more. But yours is the first 75 that they did.
Yeah. And I think that this one, I could be wrong with this. And I said this in the initial video that I did. I think it was a demo because Casino Guitars, Jonathan over there too, funny enough, they had a video not long before this one came up for sale on Sweetwater, where he was playing one of these. And this was obviously long after they had sold out initially. And I was like, oh, is this that freaking demo guitar? Like, that'd be cool. I've never confirmed that. Yeah. But if that's the case, I mean, from one Jonathan to another, hello, Casino Guitars. Love your channel. They're not watching this. I don't know why I'm saying hello to that, but.
Well, that's okay.
That's okay. They get the message.
Yeah.
So what are you playing through? I know we're playing your guitar. What are you playing through?
Yeah. Real quick, want to shout out Mark Spurgeon over here on my channel has a birthday coming up, or it's his birthday today. So we want to just say happy birthday to our most loyal viewer on Sean Plays Guitar here.
Happy birthday.
Sounds like he's got a Squire Jazzmaster coming for his birthday present.
Nice.
So not a bad day.
No, not at all.
On the 9th. All right. Well, happy early birthday, Mark. As it pertains to what I'm playing through two modelers, Jonathan.
Blasphemy. Two of them.
Not one, two. I have the Line 6 Pod Go, which there's also a video on my channel about me. I actually won that. And then I run the Pod Go into the guitar input, so out into the input of my Fender GTX 100 modeling amplifier.
Nice.
And it gives me any litany of amplification tonal options. So I can use the bank of amps that are in the GTX 100 if I wish, and bypass whatever's on the Line 6, or I can use the amp in front of the GTX 100, which is my preferred. Line 6's models are very, very good. And then I use the GTX 100 as like an FR cab with the added bonus of back-end effects. So all of my post effects like delay, reverb, anything like that, I can have any number up to 5 effects on the GTX 100. It also has the looper. So if I want to do looping, I do that in there.
Right.
And so that gives me 5 on the board right there, 5 for the Line 6 plus a wah. So that's 11 pedals, any number of amps, direct XLR out from the GTX 100 into my workstation here. And also I can monitor live if I wish to. So I can have sound coming out of the amp or not, and just coming out into the computer.
Nice.
I mean, modeling's come a long way, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it really has.
And you're just starting to get into these waters here now, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, because I think really where I've come from was more solid state, just straight up solid state amps, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like multi-effects pedals, things like that. Like for this one, I'm literally just running into the Sonicake Pocket Master. And I mean, this little thing right here is probably the most impressive example of where modeling has come, because it sounds fantastic. I mean, it like blows my mind how good this thing sounds.
It shouldn't be this big, and
it shouldn't be that big, and it should not be like $70. This should not exist and be as good as it does, or as good as it is for what it is. I mean, it's bananas how good it is. But yeah, I mean, simply put, you could plug something like that into here and it just, sound great. Now, to be fair, the patch, if you will, that I'm running isn't a stock plugin, because the biggest selling point, I think, with the Sonicake, or the Pocket Master, excuse me, is that you can run NAM models. So the Neural Amp Modeler, if you've never heard of that. And I think, Sean, you're actually the one that turned me on to the Neural Amp Modeler. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I didn't want to get on your YouTube channel and take credit for anything, but that was, so they had just the software on your desktop, and you could play through that, and everything was free, and it still is, as far as I know.
Yep.
And then guys on the Facebook group actually just started making their own like boxes, like your Sonicake there, or like the Hawtone Ampero, or there's several of them. I believe even NAM got some of their own manufactured now. But yeah, like it was just crazy, and I knew you would love it because I wasn't doing any videos at the time, but I was just like, hey man, you got to check this out. But I mean,
a lot of the tones that I use, a lot of the tones that I use are just Neural Amp. And it's literally, because in case you don't know what it is, I don't want to make this a NAM advertisement, but it's open source. So like anybody can make their own stuff, upload it to numerous websites. But I mean, you can do like amp head captures, IRs, like traditional IRs. full rigs, amp, pedals, speaker, everything. And that's the benefit of like something like the Pocket Master, and probably why it's selling so well. Really is, you can upload those straight to there, and it's as long as it's a full rig. That is the one caveat. You can't do your own IRs in there, which it is what it is. But if you make your own models, you can put them in there and take it wherever you go, and it's just like insane. And that's one that I'm running now. Is it's a full rig, like Friedman. I think it's a Brown Eye something or whatever it is, and it sounds phenomenal. Even through this, sounds exactly like it would even in the NAMM loader, whatever you want to call it, the program in
on your desktop.
Yeah, it sounds exactly the same, and it's crazy. It is ridiculous.
And you can plug that little guy into an FR cab, or like I could just plug it into my GTX.
Yeah.
And you could use it at a gig.
Yeah.
And it
seriously
weighs 6 ounces. Well, here's the crazy thing. So I was going to say, dang it, did I lose it? I might have actually lost a thought for once in my life.
Oh, no.
This is the first time it's ever happened. Yeah, I just been like looking at the landscape of modeling at the moment, and it's just crazy. Like there's no excuse anymore for like bad tone. Like that's $70. That's less than like one of my distortion that's less than my Nauticlon.
Right.
That's $99.
Exactly. Or that's like 2 of those uber cheap pedals you get on Amazon, like 2 Legato pedals or something. I mean, it's like it's insane. Or the price of like a Black Star Fly 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think I used the IR that I got off of NAMM, because with Line 6, just so my Pod Go it won't intake captures. That's right. It's not powerful enough for that. It doesn't have all that computing power. It uses the power it does have for other things like pedal modeling and things like that, and the wah, and I have like 12 wahs to choose from or whatever. But the thing that I can use is IRs, and I have like a bunch from Tone Junkie, and he does stuff for free all the time. So you should always, and he's doing NAMM models now. So I don't know if you watch him, but if you don't watch Tone Junkie TV on YouTube, a lot of the stuff he makes, he gives away all the time. He'll put it on sale for 100% off, and you can download for Helix, whatever your platform is, and he does NAMM now.
Right.
And he has a huge collection of classic sounding amps. It's fantastic. So I use his IRs, the ones that the guys on the NAMM page on Facebook do, and I use an IR. It's like one of my favorite IRs. Hold on, play it. Is my Marshall, on my Marshall amp, I use the IR for the cab. And like that speaker cabinet is just so much better, because it was, it's like modeled after some guys that he has had his whole life or whatever.
Right.
And there's, it's like worn in speakers, and it's been gigged. And so it's got that nice like Marshall flurb that you think of, squishy kind of distortion or whatever. So
right.
I love the NAMM stuff. I think it's cool that Sonic Cake has, like you said, it's not like an ad. If you haven't seen Jonathan's video on that, you should definitely watch it. But I said in the comments section, I think that's some of the best tone, and you always have good tone. I love your Black Star. So it's saying something about, the technology, not about whether or not you have good tone. You always do. The technology is so good that I could listen to that and be like, dang, I don't know. That's up there. It's like top 5 tone for, one of your demo videos for sure.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, the fact that it's all stock, like none of that was tweaked up until the point where, I started tweaking it. But yeah. it's insane. Just, I mean, and I always say, even like you look back, even like 5 years ago, like it is still rather recent, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, where modeling was just like, you can tell it's kind of whatever. But I mean, even with things like the Axe Effects and the Kemper, like even those have come such a long way. There's an old video. Yeah. There's an old video from Anderton's where Rob Chapman and Lee Anderton are sitting in a room and they're trying to differentiate. There are actually two videos. Which one is the Kemper and which one is
they have the wall up.
Well, they had, so I think in the first video they had like just the one speaker in the back, and then I think Danish Pete and Rabia were back there like swapping them and stuff. And you can't tell. And one of the things that Lee had said was like he was trying to like hit a note and hold it and kind of go like that and like really listen for it to kind of like, you know, like cut out or whatever, like a noise gate or something, real digital. Yeah. Didn't do it. And I was like, and this is years ago. This is like 6 or 7 years ago, mind you. And I'm just like, that is crazy. Because they got fooled as the end of the video. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but it is insane just how much. Now, obviously, the Kemper and Axe Effects are like what $2,000 and $3,000. They're going to be
very expensive.
They're going to be better than something like the Pocket Master, but I mean, again, it's all about perspective. You know, it's that law of diminishing returns. For $70, you cannot tell me that this does not sound good. For $70,
I do.
There's people that
I find it interesting how. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, just last thing. Someone had actually mentioned that they've got like 4 of these and they chain them together and use them kind of like how you were using it. Like one is for the effect and one is for this and that. And I was like, huh, yeah, okay. But for like $200 to have 4 of them, I mean, it's just like insane what you can do with them.
Well, so I was going to say, I think it's interesting how, I just did that big, long Tone Deep episode with my old man. Yep. And, you know, I had a Line 6 Spider 3 half stack and I had a Behringer GX 210. And Mark actually commented on the video. He had 2 of those and he ran them in stereo, the Behringers. And for the chorus effect, actually the coloration on the amp was not bad. And for a solid state at the time. I really enjoyed that amp. It was 210s, obviously it's the GX 210, but it had a foot switch where you could go between presets. And so apparently he ran his in stereo. I'm sure that sounded amazing. Yeah. But where we've come from like the Line 6 Spider 3 half stack with like 4, you know, it's like everything's a preset. Like the amp tone is preset,
right? How
much gain is, you know, it's all preset. So from presets to like Line 6 Pod go nuts, right? Like it, like do whatever you want, add pedals, take them away, like add physical pedals in front of it. I have a fuzz, I have the Beatronics Overhive and the Nauticlon all in front of the Pod Go, which has 5 more effects in it. Usually I do like modulation on the Pod Go and stuff. Right. And then my wah, and you can also adjust whether the pedals on the Pod Go are in front or behind the amp.
Yep.
So you can get your signal chain right.
Yep.
And then I can adjust on the GTX whether they're in front or behind the amp. And if they're in front of the amp on the GTX, which is just a studio preamp, so it's pretty uncolored, just volume or whatever. If they're in front, it doesn't really affect what happens. Like they can be in front or behind. But it's just like there's so much versatility, and like you said, guys taking 4 of those Sonic cakes for $200, and it's funny to watch. Sorry, I'm like on a long rant here.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's funny to watch the companies chase each other in circles on what to release. A bigger pedal, a smaller pedal. The Headrush is like, we'll do all of them. Like they got the huge Helix size. And then they have the Mini, and then they have just the, you know, the Stomp, HX Stomp size. And they're all just like chasing each other around because guitar players are so finicky. We just can't decide, you know, whether we want these big, huge. And it's like, actually, like my physical pedal, we just change our mind every 3 years.
Yeah.
And so you've got like the Sonic Cake or the Pod Go or the Helix, or somewhere right here, you've got that, the Kemper floor now, where it's just the pedal.
Yep.
And I mean, it's never, or you can have like a Spark Mini, or you can have a big Spark, or a Little Spark or a Yamaha THR-10 or whatever. Like, it's never been a better time for tone in guitar
Absolutely,
world.
yeah, absolutely, 100%
Yeah.
agree. Because I
And
mean,
I'm on
it's
board for all of it. I love tube amps. I don't
yeah.
know about you. I think you love your, I think you love like your Black Star stack there. I think, is that a tube? That's a tube, right?
The HT5,
Or is
I
that one?
believe, is like a hybrid kind of deal. I don't know where the tube. There are tubes in it. In fact, right now, I'm pretty sure I need to replace the tubes. God help me. But yeah, it's got tubes. I think in the preamp.
That's like
I'm
my
not a
Marshall
big like.
valve state.
Yeah, I'm not a big like. I don't know anything really about them, but I'm very simple when it comes to gear. I'm just like plug it in if it sounds good. Hey, I'll take it.
Does it sound good?
Oh yeah. Right now it sounds kind of like it's going kaput, but I think it's literally just the tubes.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I've got my little Joyo Bant amps that I've been playing through, and obviously they sound killer. But yeah, I'm not a huge tube snob or
Get a
anything.
head that's this big.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't make any sense, dude.
that's 20 watts right there. One tube in there, and I mean, this thing will blow your face off. This is the Joyo Zombie 2. It's like a Mesa Boogie kind of deal, and I mean, that thing will rip you to shreds. It sounds so good, and it's just like uncontrolled gain. And those are like $120, $170, something like that. They're under $200. But yeah, I mean, it's never been a better time to be just a guitar player in general, really.
I'm having a ton of fun being a guitar player right now.
Right.
I mean, like, to be able to do a YouTube podcast or, like, connect with people that you would never know, like, watch your videos and then follow, stalk you on Instagram and become bros. And like, like, none of that stuff is possible if we don't have this awesome. So like, there's all the downfalls of social media. The best part is to be a dad in a pink room or a yellow one and be able to nerd out about guitar with like-minded bros and like just play. My Friday night live streams are a lot of fun. Shameless plug. Like last week, 2 of my buddies came and sat behind me and we drank beers while I played.
I mean, is that not just like the life?
It's the life, bro.
It's so good. I mean,
yeah,
hanging out, meeting new people. If you got people joining your stream, like and even if they don't, I mean, it's like I always sit and say, like, there's a lot of my videos that don't break 100 views sometimes, and I've been doing this for 3 years. And then I've got one that's over 100,000, and it's like, it just is. But I'm having fun either way, and that's what I think a lot of people need to remember, is that you just got to remember at the end of the day, you're having fun with it. If it's your living and like your mortgage payment's coming up and your videos are not performing well, maybe panic a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're having fun with it, it doesn't matter how many views you get no views. Have fun with it.
Right.
That's what I do.
Well, and wrapping that into the thing, I watch like Tom Bukovac. I'm an Uncle Larry disciple, and I watch a lot of his videos. He's very funny. He's very forward. He's super just cut and dry about everything. Yep. He is like on there, and he would say, that doesn't sound like my Vox AC30 from 1964. And he would be 100% correct about that. But I contend that the Vox model in my both the one on my Fender GTX and the one on my Line 6 do sound good, and that's all I really need. And he would say to that, perfect. Like, he's a believer in vintage gear and tube amps. That's what he likes, and that's what's on all the albums we've listened to over the years on the radio. However, he would also say, dude, freaking blow your skirt up, man. Like, who cares? Do what you like. If it sounds good to you, then it is, and it's fine. And I think that's where most people are starting to get to. I think the tube versus digital modeling argument is coming to a little bit of a middle ground finally.
Yeah.
And people are like, that does sound good, and it does not sound like my Marshall half stack, but it does sound good.
Well, and you're always going to have the people out there that just like swear up and down, like, oh, I can hear that it's not tubes. It's like, but can you really though? You know, it's like, it doesn't matter. Is this one a fizzy, nasty mess? And then this one is like glorious, warm, beautiful tone. Like, it's not like that anymore. Exactly. It's like,
Right.
I mean, if there's that much of a difference, who cares? And specifically in like a live
Almost no one,
scenario.
actually. The answer to that is almost no one.
Almost no one. And especially in like a live scenario, you know, a lot of people always like when they start saying, oh, I don't want to get on stage with an Epiphone. I need to be up there with a Gibson. It's like, I promise you, the only people in that crowd that maybe care is other guitar players. Everybody else, make a noise. Make a noise. I mean, and like I said, I went and saw, who did I go see? It was, what's their name? I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. It was like a bunch of, it was like a 20-year anniversary thing for Hawthorne Heights. It was Hawthorne Heights and a couple other people, right? And like they were up there with, you know, like a Gibson SG and stuff. But like the bands before them, one was playing an Epiphone SG. And guess what? I noticed it and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's different, whatever. And sounded fine. No one else in the audience knew or cared.
You noticed the headstock, but not a difference in whether or not the tone was good.
Exactly. So I wholeheartedly stand by that argument that it's like, if it makes a sound and it sounds good to most people, or at least to you, really, who cares what other people think? If it sounds good to you, whatever. But if it makes a sound and it's a good sound, who cares? Doesn't matter if it costs $1 or $100 or $1,000. Don't matter. That's just me, though. So,
let's see what we got going. Mark uses the LT with his PA. The Trio works great with. Oh yeah, Mark has this pedal called the Trio.
Yeah,
I can't remember who makes it. Maybe he can drop it in there. But the Trio makes your own backing tracks for you. So like you start playing, you give it a chord progression and a tempo, and it adds drums and bass. And
no way.
I think maybe even and it's knob. You turn the knobs like a regular Boss pedal or whatever. And he showed me that. I went and looked it up one night on a live stream, and that thing looks freaking cool. It's a Digitech product.
No
Shout
way.
out to Digitech, man.
Digitech Trio.
Shout out to the Bad Monkey, son.
Have they come down in price, I wonder?
Yeah, that's $650 Bad Monkey pedal that sounds just like a Klon.
Thanks. Well, who was it? JHS that said that?
Yeah.
Thanks a
Josh.
lot.
Appreciate
yeah,
you,
thanks
buddy.
a lot, Josh.
Also, shout out JHS and their 6-year warranty on their pedals. My overdrive preamp pedal crapped out on me randomly on a live stream, and I contacted them, and they're like, "Yeah, send it in." So it's like $20 to ship it or whatever, but the pedal's $100, and so I don't have to buy a new one, and they'll fix it and send it back to me for free. So, shout out JHS.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know.
What else is going on, brother? What you got coming up on the channel?
Let me get this cable out of the way. I keep bumping it. Anyway, so I've got, let's see, I've got a pedal demo coming up that we didn't touch on this maybe in the last episode. Good buddy of mine, Carl over at the No Shred Zone channel. You should go check him out.
Yes.
He started a pedal chain, and I'm the first one in that chain. So he said, "Hey, I got this really cool pedal. I'm gonna send it your way, and you review it, do what you want with it, and send it on to the next one, and we'll kind of keep track of it." And it's called the Dude Alert by a company called Rude Tech, and it is probably one of the best like overdrive distortion pedals I've ever played in my life. It's
really
so cool. Yeah, and that video will be coming out. I'm not going to show it to you or nothing, mainly because it's boxed up and I don't want to get it back out and everything. But
yeah,
I've already filmed the video on it. That should be coming out relatively soon. Just trust me, it's like obnoxiously loud in sound and the visuals of it. It's just like, whoa, it's so cool. It really is cool. And Sean's actually going to be getting it next, so be on the lookout for a pedal there, buddy. And we'll look out for your video too. So that'll probably be going out this weekend.
I'm looking forward to your intro track because you always whip out a banger on your intro tracks, and if it's heavy gain, you know it's going to be fire.
There won't be an intro track on that one. That's more just
what?
Yeah,
you robbed me.
I did. I'm sorry. Typically with pedals, I don't like to do intro tracks because it's just like, here's clean, here's this. I don't know. I'm trying some different things too. I'm trying.
Yeah.
And for the record, I need to make a video addressing this too. For the record, I have moved my room around. I got a new desk. I'm filming in HD again, like 4K. I've got videos that I filmed months back that are going to come out, and it's going to look like completely different. My room will be a mess, like how it was before. If anybody cares, just know those are older videos. So probably some intro tracks to be had in there that I've completely forgotten about at this point. Got another product from Donner coming up. That it's different, but it's cool in its own right. I've got a bunch of guitars on the back burner that I've had for a little while that I need to get videos on, along with some comparison videos, like shootout kind of stuff, or like this versus this kind of type deals. A couple topic videos. I'll get to those when I get to them, but yeah, lots of stuff scheduled to come out. I think I'm up to like middle of July right now. Once a week. So yeah, it's on. It's there. What do you got?
To be ahead.
Oh yeah, takes a lot of stress off of me. But what you got coming, if anything?
Well, so today I'm shooting another Tone Deep with somebody else. And actually, it's funny. Just bringing this up, might as well talk shop while we're on here. I probably want to do or reshoot the Tone Deep, not as OnlyFrets with you, where it's like a proper interview. So I'm working on my listening skills, and I want to ask questions and get answers from people that I admire or like or whatever, aspire to reach their level of. So I have, I'm shooting one today, which is very special to me. I have one other person who's agreed to do one. And then maybe after that second one, you and I can sit down and I'll compile some questions. We'll reshoot.
I would love that. That would be great.
Yeah, proper interview.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, so I'm doing all my guitars series. So the next one, I'm actually going to do an acoustic, which is going to be a lot of fun. I might even sing in that video.
Oh Lord, everybody mute your speakers.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that.
Steve Cassidy, welcome to the stream. So I might even sing in the acoustic video. So I wrote a song for my wife. My wife gave me the guitar, and I feel like maybe I could, add those two together. And then my son is turning 7 in a few days, and we just got him one of those Epiphone power players.
Yep.
And it showed up yesterday. I did an unboxing video that I'm going to probably post like later today.
Sweet.
And then one of my All My Guitars episodes will be all my kids' guitars. And that'll literally be all of them in one video. So it'll be like the Donner little Strat, and it'll be the Epiphone power players, the Maestro Viwi, the Telly my dad got, and then the Lug. We got him that acoustic 3-string. Yeah, when he was tiny, we got him one. And so I have some like pictures of them playing when they're young, a video of Nicholas like playing and singing on the thing. But we'll do an episode with all the children's guitars, because that's another thing about, being in the golden age of guitar playing, which I think we all agree we're in, is that it's actually never been a better time to be a kid and be a budding guitarist.
Yeah. Because
dude, your dad has gear. If your dad plays guitar, he's got great gear in his basement. And the kid guitars are freaking awesome, dude. That that Donner, which was like $78 that I got my youngest, it stays in tune and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense because it's like this big.
Right.
So it shouldn't, but it does.
The thing with short scale stuff like that, I mean, if you set them up properly, and really it comes down to me to the gauge of string that's on there. Because you can put like freaking 12s on something like that, but because of the scale length, the tension's not there, and it feels like you're playing like 10s, right? Obviously they'll feel thicker, but with the tension and the bends, because like you try to bend with 12s and you're gonna break your fingers. But you know, that's kind of what it comes down to. And I actually, to plug again, have a video on how to set up short scale guitars if anybody's interested in that.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah,
when I'm tuning up the power players.
That's an older video, so search for it. But speaking of guitars, one topic that I kind of had, just because I want to do a little maybe show and tell.
Yeah.
You talk about how it's the golden age, the golden era to be a guitar player now, but what about back in the day, maybe when other players were, you know, people swear like the 50s and the 60s or whatever, and some people like the 70s stuff. Is there an older guitar that's kind of like for you a holy grail? And I say that because recently I found one. It's nothing like super duper impressive, but I did get one recently that is like a holy grail for me. And I'll get it in a second and explain why. But I wanted to ask you, is there anything that from any era, new, old, whatever, that's like a holy grail that you got to have it? Or if you do have it already, I have a feeling maybe you do. What it would be?
So I don't actually, I mean, I have, you know, we've talked about my Les Paul, you know, till we're all blue in the face. I'm, you know, it's the logo of my channel. Like I'm married to that guitar, but there is one. So I love 70s guitars.
Yep.
Probably just because I love mine so much, but I actually like how weird they are. I like that Fenders have 3-bolt neck plates.
The experimental stuff.
And the tilt. I think it's weird. It's cool. I like the big ugly headstock and the stupid logo, the transitions, you know, post CBS logo or whatever. I like the tarback Gibson pickups on the, you know, the tarback Gibson humbuckers. Who is the guy that? So there's the, you know, the burst buckers. Those are the, whoever wound those. I can't remember their
Seth
names.
Lover?
But Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw did the tarbacks. Tim Shaw's tarbacks in the 70s. I think they're funky, dude. I think it's cool. So if I could get one, it would be a 70s Telecaster, post, you know, CBS 70s Telecaster with the bullet and the 3-bolt. And then the other one would be an SG from the same, probably exactly the same year. I would probably get a 78. Not the SG, although it's cool. The SG with the 3, it's like got the rings, and then it has the Gibson style pick guard, and then it has like the plate on the front. So it's got a front mounted control plate. I think they're the SG Deluxe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that sounds familiar. I would say it was the Deluxe. I don't.
Those are hideous, but I just want a regular SG from 78. And with the wide headstock, the 3, you know, the maple 3-ply neck and the tulip tuners and everything. Like, I just think they're, and the harmonica bridge, right? Like they just look cool to me. They're all like brown, which is fun for some reason. They're hideous. Everything in the 70s was German chocolate brown for some reason. That's German chocolate. Anyway, what did you get, dude? Now you piqued my interest, sir.
So again, it's nothing. Let me get it real quick. Not this. This is maybe one. And I would say maybe this is one of them. I have a couple of them, but this one right here.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. So this is an Epiphone. It's an Epiphone 57 reissue Les Paul Jr. in TV yellow.
Really?
Yes. So it's from 2006. Is Korean. It's got
Does it have that logo on the back where it's like
limited
custom
edition.
order thing?
Yeah, the custom shop one. Yep.
Nice.
It's got the Epiphone logo that I like a lot. That like curly Q looking kind of logo. Love that. The one thing that I hate about it is the Grover tuners. I wish they were the tulip tuners just because that's my preferred look. But man, when I tell you that this is something that I've looked for a while, because of my need to have all of these like discontinued, rare, cool Epiphone things.
Yeah.
This was like at the top of my list, and it came up the other day at a good price, and I didn't even think about it. I was just like, boom, boom, bought it, showed up, and I was like, oh shoot, what did I do? But
Fish in a barrel, baby.
pretty much, yeah. And I'm just now realizing that somebody had a great time adjusting the thing down here because the screws are all eat up. But I digress.
The post.
The post, yeah. Something that I never knew that these had. If you look at the knobs, they're like,
Yeah.
it says V and T on there, and they're real skinny. And apparently
That's really
stock.
weird. Are they in a weird place for a junior as well?
Not that I'm aware
Or is that
of.
normally where they're at?
I'm pretty sure it's normally. Well, with an SG, because I got the SG junior, they're like down here.
Different.
But I
Yeah.
think that's where they're at. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Is the last time you had the SG junior, the
Yeah.
last junior I saw you with. You're probably right.
When another thing too that was kind of weird about it is this one doesn't have a fat neck, but it's got a rather wide kind of neck, which my first ever Gibson that I had was a Gibson Studio from 2015. And if anybody knows anything about Gibsons from 2015, it's that they all suck. They're terrible. Never had a Gibson that I've played from 2015 that has been good. And it was the wide space nut, and then the neck was wider. So to me, they're just uncomfortable to play. They're real thin, real wide, terrible. This one feels, I don't know if it's just me, it feels like it's got a wider neck, but when I tell you this is one of the best Epiphones I've ever played, bar none, hands down, full stop, point blank, period. It is like one of the best Epiphones I've ever played. And I don't know, man, the action's super low. Came straight out of the box, playable. I think it's got a P100 in it as opposed to a P90, which is like it's like a humbucker size P90 kind of deal. But man, this thing roars, sounds great. I'll make a video on this at some point, and I'll gush about it more there. But yeah, Epiphone 57 reissue is one of those like holy grail, and it had to be TV yellow. I think they may have been black and red, maybe a sunburst one.
Yeah, they probably did the cherry finish, which is acceptable. But I mean, I think I like the cherry finish for a junior seems to belong on an SG for me. Like SGs are cherry or white. Les Pauls are the black juniors are okay with the pick guard, the tortoiseshell.
Yeah,
it's okay, but I like the red with tortoiseshell or what you have there, the TV yellow with the black. I mean, that's classic. Couple questions.
Sure.
One, isn't the P100 for a split or something like that?
It doesn't split on here, so
okay.
No.
I've seen conflicting. Oh no, they're silence, aren't they? They're noiseless.
That's what it is. Yeah, they're noiseless. Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay,
so it's comparable to like awesome. It's comparable to like Jared James Nichols silencer P90 thing. Yep. But the thing with like that one is that it sounds like a P90 still. Right. This one has, you can tell maybe if that is the case, maybe it's just because I'm thinking it's a P100. I don't know. I've seen conflicting things on the internet about it. I don't know. Either way, sounds great. I mean, it's like everything that I could have ever asked for. It's beautiful. I love it. And I know, again, some people, it's just an Epiphone. It's like, don't knock it till you try it, my dude. For real.
I mean, there are some Epiphones that are just not just an Epiphone.
Right.
I mean, some Epiphone, they're not all created equal, even in the same batch. Hang on, I'll grab something real quick.
And I'm aware too that
this this is not the stock pick guard here, but this is a $150 Guitar Center
The
PR
DR
200 VS. This is a campfire guitar, bro. It's been through. It's out of tune, but it booms and it smells like 2003 Guitar Center acoustic room. That's what it smells like.
Yeah.
That's exactly when you smell. It smells like the acoustic room at Guitar Center in 2003. And every time I got it for my birthday when I was 19, and every time I pick it up, this is the one guitar I smell it before I play it, like every time. I don't know. It just takes me back to like opening it up out of the box when you know what I mean. And this is a throwaway guitar. Like nobody keeps these. They just sell them for like $25 at pawn shops, and they're all along the wall. And I kept mine. It's besides the Les Paul, it's the guitar I think I owned it longer than the Les Paul. So I've had this for like 21 years now. And I love it. And there's no pickup in it. It's a camping guitar, and I love it.
Straight up
and
acoustic, yeah.
Epiphone has, you care about the headstock. I don't care. Like I like the little chipped wing headstock, like that one.
Yeah.
Like I think that it looked fine. I didn't need them to put Gibson style headstock on an Epiphone. I like the other one, you know.
No,
Where are you at with that?
With the headstock issue?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I've personally, there's something about, I don't know what it is, about the old Epiphone headstock shape that it makes me want to pick up the guitar. Obviously a Gibson, yeah, because it's a Gibson, but there's something about this old shape that I just, from the first time I saw it, I was just like, that is so cool. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of guitar players are like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not picky, vain, I guess would be the, like if it doesn't say the right name on it, obviously, or whatever, or like the shape. But yeah, I mean, the Kalamazoo headstock shape's okay. I go back and forth between liking that, like when I'm browsing for stuff, if I see a Kalamazoo headstock on it, the newer one, I'm kind of like, I'll pass. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of more a turn off than a turn on for you.
Yeah, and then I mean, like the new ones to me, well, I'm gonna put them all in one basket, I guess. The newer ones with the Inspired by Gibson custom shop that have the actual Gibson open book. There was a Chinese domestic market one that had the open book, and they weren't. I mean, this is years and years ago. The MIJ ones that are not the elitist model. The elitist ones have those. Have you ever seen those? The elitists were made in Japan, but they literally are just like a bump. It's so strange, and I didn't like it at first, but it's grown on me more and more as I've seen it.
Yeah.
But older MIJ stuff, Epiphone had the open book too, and to me, they've always looked kind of funky, with the exception, if I remember correctly, of the ones that had this type of logo on it. That I don't know why I call it curly Q. It's real round and curly, but and I could be misremembering.
Yeah, the
that.
E is the C with the line through it when the E is,
and then like the P's and the O's, it just looks better to me. It's not that sharp like where they're mimicking the Gibson logo kind of thing. And I think it harks back to like the original Epiphone logo and stuff. And I don't know, it makes it kind of takes that, oh, this is just a cheaper Gibson kind of out of the equation, because it's like, yeah, it is, but it's
own
like,
thing.
It's its own thing, right? I don't know, and that's more of a mental thing, I guess, but as time goes on and you just realize like these are just good guitars, you kind of forget about all of that. But there is still that, because you hear people all the time in like reviews say, yeah, you look down at the headstock and it just looks like a Gibson, so it makes you think you're playing a Gibson. It's like, that's not the point of it though.
No.
The whole point is for Epiphone to be its own thing, and it's like, if you have the Epiphone, own it and rock it. I mean, again, it goes back to our first point. Who cares? you have fun, it sounds
Or
good,
like
who cares?
even our conversation about like Chipsons and stuff too. It's like have the stones to put your own name on the head. Like
Yeah.
Epiphone should be proud of their product. It isn't just because it's got licensed Gibson shapes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not fooling ourselves. I know when I'm playing an Epiphone, I'm playing an Epiphone, and that is fine by me because I know that I got a cool Gibson shape, a really nice guitar that's well made, that might need different pickups, but probably not.
Yeah.
And it was literally a quarter of the cost. And I'm okay
Exactly.
with paying a quarter of the cost for a good guitar. You know,
Right.
it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. And so like that's why like Harley Benton doesn't bother me. They put their own headstocks on it. They put their name on it. They change it up. It's a Gibson shaped object or a Fender shaped object or, you know, a Mosrite shaped object, but they change the headstocks. They play by the rules and they put their own dang name on it. And I just think that's great because you're giving me a look or a vibe or a style or a build that I wouldn't otherwise be able to afford. And it's a quality product at the end of the day. So I just feel like Epiphone could have just stayed with that headstock and none of us would really, it would give us something to complain about. Yeah, but the headstock, man, you know, it's like, but really at the end of the day, we all played Epiphones. We love Epiphone.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean,
well,
I will say,
congratulations.
yeah, well, thank you.
On
I
that,
appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's
awesome.
I will say this, just going back to the headstock thing, the the one that's on your acoustic, that's a huge hit or miss for me. It depends on what it's on. The acoustic looks great. On something like the Tommy Thayer Les Paul, don't do that. Or the Vivian Campbell, the Holy Diver, no, do not put that ugly ass headstock on there. It is
the elongated. That belongs on the acoustics only. I don't even like
or the
on
hollow
the Sheraton.
bodies. The Sheraton, it looks great on the Sheraton, but it's got that big fancy curly, you know, whatever on it. So it looks good to me.
I'd probably rather have the one you're holding, that headstock on
day in,
Sheraton.
day out. Yeah, full stop. I would rather have with the logo, the headstock shape, the neck break angle is like 14 degrees as opposed to Gibson's 17. Not that that's that big a deal, but it does help with the tuning stability and the binding in the nut and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like that much less likely to break if it falls over, stuff like that. I don't know. Epiphone's got its benefits. The price obviously being the biggest one of them, but then you get models like this that the Gibson variant would be, you know, ridiculous. To find a TV yellow Les Paul Jr. in a Gibson, you're going to pay out the rear end for it.
Yeah. Well, think about it too. Think about, okay, the Epiphone is so much cheaper, but you just highlighted a bunch of reasons why it's technically better than the Gibson design.
Right.
It's like, okay, the headstock probably won't break. Your G-string is probably not going to be out of tune. And the finish on it is never going to fail.
Right.
So that means they're at 3 points, technically the guitar is better. And we're all like, yeah, but like it doesn't wear out over time, you know, like we like broke and beat up old things. So we're kind of like, yeah, but is it relic though? Like, can I relic the, it's like, no, it literally will last you your whole life. You could buy that Epiphone Junior when you're 15, it'll look exactly the same when you're 45.
Exactly.
And that should be a good thing, but we turn our nose up at it all the time.
Yeah, some of the white, like if it's a white, sometimes over time that will fade, but I mean it fades like tastefully. It's not like it's going to go from clean, pristine white to like sat in a smoky bar for 50 years, you know, ugly nicotine yellow. Some people like that, and some things it looks good, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would rather have the, you know, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I don't want to scratch and dent it, and that's part of the reason I buy used gear, because like this one's got scuffs on it. I mean, it's got some stuff here, but I'm like, well, if it gets scuffed anymore or chipped, I mean, it was already like that when I got it. So
you don't have to be precious.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I got my Gibson back there. I'm not precious with that. To me, they're tools at the end of the day. I mean, people will probably be like, why is that? Why is the Kramer not in a bag and on a wall? It's like, why would it be? Plays great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It's cool. stays in tune. I mean, it's built well. Why am I going to waste it and looking at it like, man, I wish I could play it because there were only so many made or whatever. But it's like, no, I'm going to play it. Sorry.
Right.
Sue me.
Speaking of play it, let's hear that thing.
Oh, yeah, this thing. I did plug it into, let me give y'all something a little bit different before because I know it's getting kind of about that time.
We are nearing the end of our hang.
Let me see if I can. Can you hear that at all?
It's a little quieter than, like, say, the distorted tone. That's better.
Okay. I didn't know what tuning was in. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I meant to hit the harmonic. Oh well.
It's really nice.
Yeah, no, it's got a something about it, and I don't know if it's just how it's set up or whatever, but it is very, very like. Yeah, because I've been looking for a junior for a while to go with my SG junior, but this came along at like the perfect time, and I was like, okay. And honestly, I think now that I have this, something in me is satiated, and I think I'm done with buying stuff for a while. Famous last words.
I was going to say.
But I think because I have such a backlog of things that I got to get done, I'm going to try to put more energy into focusing on that than, buying it. Plus, I'm at the point now where I think the market has kind of slowed a little bit, and I need to give it time to kind of refresh and put some new stuff in there. And to me, I always try to remember, what if I see something like this? Like, what if this comes up and I miss it? It's like, if I don't look, I won't ever know if I did or not. So
that's true.
Mental games.
Yeah, you have to, otherwise you'll be, buried in it neck deep, but so I just bought the power players for my son, and then his other two will go, and he wants to keep them. We talked about selling his Flying V, and he just started crying about getting rid of it, so we can't. But those will go away. And then I have in my bathroom over here, I'm keeping my next kit build, and I've drawn a hard line on building the guitar. I have to finish the laundry room project, which is out that door, before I'll allow myself to build the kit guitar. So I've got a little carrot here to motivate progress on the house first.
I was gonna say, is the laundry room thing like an actual laundry room thing, or is that another guitar hidden in the laundry room?
Yeah,
one in the bathroom, one in the laundry room, one in the oven upstairs in the kitchen.
Yeah, no,
one that I pushed to the back of the freezer.
Another reason, you talk about playing mental games. For my videos, it's like I'm just gonna do videos on the guitars I already have for right now.
Yeah,
and that will take up probably a year of my time, where I'm focused on doing videos on what I already have and stuff. So, I think that plus, we're doing OnlyFrets, and I've got the Tone Deep interview series going. Hopefully that'll keep me away from buying gear. But thanks to you, I'll have a pedal to review for a week, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you can do with it too. Because one point that I made was like, is it like, yeah, do we need another video on the same pedal? But it's like, well, yeah, because you're a different player than I am. I deal generally in high gain and in metal and all that kind of stuff, but you could find a whole new sound in there just by tweaking the knob in a way that I didn't do it, and be like, oh yeah, it also does this, because that's kind of what I did. I was just like, let's see if we max everything out how it sounds. That's kind of what I did with it. But spoiler alert. But either way, so I think this may be where we have to close the curtain on today's episode. What do you think? Unless you got anything else.
I'm in agreement. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, special thanks to the three amigos over on my channel. Had Mark, Amanda Coons, and Steve Cassidy stop by. So appreciate you guys coming in and hanging with us.
Thank you very much.
Jonathan what's your next video drop you've got coming, sir?
I will get you that information. I believe it is the Donner product. I do have another one that I can't talk about right now. It's super secret stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one will be coming later on this month.
Okay.
And you don't want to miss that one. That one's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So everybody go over to Jonathan's channel and check out his next video drop. I've got a quick unboxing of the Power Players coming up. It's a really cool little guitar. And then, we'll see you all next week.
That we will.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and put my pop-up up there one more time. Remember, we stream every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Getting better at saying that. I always have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, which one's which? Either way, everybody take care. Hope you're well. Hope you stay well. And we'll catch you where we catch you at, I guess.
That's right.
All right,
Till
we'll
next
see you.
time.